Hi, folks. Welcome back to Pop Pop Fizzle. I'm Jeff.
I'm Heidi.
And we are back with another episode of VandaWision.
What?
I was trying the Sokovian accent there.
That's... No.
Right?
No.
No?
Don't.
Are you
No.
sure?
Yes.
I thought it was Sokovian. Anyway, we are back with another episode of WandaVision, hopefully to find out more about what is going on in Westview.
Oh, my gosh.
This episode is called On a Very Special Episode. Maybe it's going to be a special episode.
Well, you know, all the sitcoms all seem to have at least...
Especially in the 80s.
Especially in the 80s. Seem to have at least one episode per season, which was a very special episode. Even Saved by the Bell had one. And
Sure, Jessie was popping the keep awake pills, right?
Yes, she was so excited.
And then you had Growing Pains, where a young Matthew Perry was drinking and driving, ended up dead at the end of that episode.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yep.
I think I remember Full House had the episode where DJ decided not to eat for a day, highlighting the horror of eating disorders.
Yep.
It was just one day, though.
Family Ties had a bunch of them.
Oh, well, I mean, I said at least one a season, so
Yeah.
I'm just trying to remember the ones that like kind of stuck out
Save
for me
those
the
for
most.
Sweeps Week.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh gosh, Sweeps Week.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine they would try to do that anymore. I think they do, but I don't think they matter nearly as much.
Who can say?
Probably the Nielsen people could say.
The Nielsen people?
The Nielsen people.
That's that family from church, right?
Sure.
Okay, so we are going to jump into WandaVision and find out what is going on in Westview, hopefully, at least some of it.
Let's get some more questions answered, and of course we're going to get more questions.
And we suspect that this will be an 80s-themed episode,
Yeah.
So we're excited for that.
Sure.
Now, last time, let's catch up a little bit. Last time, we were outside of Westview.
Yep.
We did some catching up.
Yep, and we saw some familiar faces pop up. We had John Krasinski show up as...
What?
Agent Wu?
Oh, that's right. Yes. Asian John Krasinski.
Yes.
We also had Captain Rambo and who we had last seen. Huh?
And Darcy.
Yes, I'm sorry. I was going with Captain Rambo, though, who we had last seen in Captain Marvel as a young girl.
Yep.
We got to find out a little bit about what had happened with her, including that she had been snapped away, and come back to find out that her mom had passed away in her absence.
Yeah.
Sword had continued to be Sword in her absence. Apparently her mom was a founding member of Sword there. So,
Sure.
Definitely. I've seen a lot of internet speculation that people are suspicious of the guy that's in charge of Sword.
Yeah,
I don't get that.
Yeah, I wasn't really getting the bad guy vibes off of him. But,
No.
sometimes I'm a little slow. I can admit that.
But
I don't
also
always catch those things.
I hope that he's not, because it seems lazy. Like, you had the people at the top of S.H.I.E.L.D. being bad. Like, why do that again?
Yeah.
That's lazy. Like,
but
not everybody that has a little bit of power is a bad person. Like,
right.
Let's just go with that.
And I'd be willing to bet that maybe he has more idea of what's going on, but I don't think he's I don't think he's necessarily the perpetrator or the mastermind behind everything.
And just because Monica's not in charge of Sword, I mean, she was the daughter of the person who started it. That doesn't mean you automatically get to fill those shoes.
Yeah.
So people assuming
Boy.
that he's bad because he's got her spot or something. Like, who said it was her spot?
Yeah.
We don't even know if her mom would have thought it was her spot. Like,
right.
Who knows? So anyway, I see a lot of speculation about that. I'm kind of hoping that's not the case, but definitely between catching up with her, catching up with Darcy, and meanwhile Darcy, she's earned a doctorate.
She's a PhD
she's on top of this situation. I mean, really, she answered a lot of questions that they had throughout that episode, and she and Jimmy Woo seem to have struck up a decent partnership as far as trying to get some of these questions answered.
Yeah.
Never learned what happened to the beekeeper. Here's hoping he's still alive somewhere.
Yeah, I think there's different schools of thoughts now. We watch reactors too, so a lot of people have had, and we watched a lot of the Easter egg ones as well. Some people have debated whether he showed up as the ice cream guy in the next opening montage.
Not the same actor, we know that part.
So, but it wasn't the same actor, so hard to say. I'm hoping he's okay, but we don't know.
Yeah, I mean, who can say? We may learn in this episode. Who knows?
Yeah.
But we are going to dive into this episode. We're going to see what we think about it, and then we're going to trust you to jump down in the comments below.
Tell us some more.
Let us know what you thought, or just how wrong we are, because that's really kind of what the internet's for anyway. But we love hearing from you there. If you want to see this episode, our reaction to it, uninterrupted, you can do that by going to Patreon and joining our $5 tier. It gets you access to everything, all the shows that we do, not just this one. If you can't, that's fine. We don't expect it, but it's nice to have that support if you can. We also want to make sure that you understand that shows like WandaVision don't happen in a vacuum. They happen because a lot of people spend a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of effort, a lot of money making it happen. So be sure and support this show on Disney Plus. Watch it there before you watch this reaction. Make sure that you're supporting quality content so that we get more of it. Okay?
All right.
Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
I'm ready too. Here we go.
No luck with Billy?
Tried reading to him, but for some reason Charles Darwin's The Descent of Man made him cry even harder.
Go to sleep, my babies.
Oh. Nope.
Well, I don't think it's very funny. Why won't you do what I want?
They're not crying, at least. Oh, what?
Look, I think it's working.
Yeah.
When I heard your new little bundles of joy were on a sleep strike.
Oh, who told you that?
My ears.
Oh.
Oh, see, you know what? You just maybe we better not.
Do you want me to take that again? Should we just take it from the top?
Did you really not see what I saw?
They finally fell asleep.
They're empty.
Then where are the twins?
Mommy? Daddy?
Kids.
They grow up so fast.
Can't control them. No matter how hard you try.
Bet she's drinking a V8. Oh.
Yep. Very Family Ties.
No.
This is all very like Full House,
Yeah.
Growing Pains, all those shows.
Yeah.
What's the first thing you do remember?
Pain. And then Wanda's voice in my head.
Did you try to resist?
There was this feeling keeping me down, this hopeless feeling.
There's a briefing in 10. Pants are encouraged.
This is Dr. Darcy Lewis. She's the one who discovered the broadcast.
Monica, I know. I'm a big fan.
We're gonna need to take these again. There's something wrong with the machine.
Those are blank.
Like I said,
Well, what about our labs?
I need another blood draw.
Uh,
No.
The twins were subsequently radicalized, volunteering at Hydra.
It's an oversimplification of events, but yes.
sure.
Lagos and Germany. We all know how that turned out. Thanks, Jimmy.
Wanda's not a terrorist.
By your own account, you described the experience of being under her mind control as excruciating, terrifying, a violation. Monica, she blasted you halfway across New Jersey.
And I survived because she chose to protect me.
She's
So, yeah, I
holding
thought so.
thousands of people hostage.
And it could have been thousands more if she hadn't put up her own quarantine.
Oh, they had him pulled apart.
When was
Yeah.
this?
9 days ago, Maximoff stormed our facility, stole the Vision's body, and resurrected him.
But that's in direct violation of Section 36B of the Sokovia Accords.
And the Vision's own living will.
He didn't want to be anybody's weapon.
She seemed fairly at peace with it at the end of Endgame, so I'm curious what changed that.
Yeah.
Mind Stone.
Who knows? But she has the world's only vibranium synthezoid playing Father Knows Best in suburbia.
Wait, or what's this K9 doing in my kitchen sink?
The doggy paddle? Can we keep him, Mommy?
Well, why so formal, honey?
Oh,
Trying to read the canisters?
I am.
I was too.
Someone might pop over
Hi, kiddo.
with exactly the item we require. Wanda. Agnes was right there.
Well, she didn't notice. She didn't even notice when the boys went from babies to 5-year-olds.
That's not what we agreed upon. You made no effort to conceal your abilities. Wanda, we are usually so much of the same mind. Right now, what aren't you telling me?
Your
No,
father
it was Farina.
don't think you're ready to properly care for an animal until you're at least 10 years old.
Oh. Hey now.
Let's just hope this dog stays the same.
OT, coffee.
I know an aerospace engineer who'd be up for this challenge.
Do
But
you?
I can't guarantee the hex won't just mind wipe you as you go in.
Wait, what's the hex?
Oh, it's what I'm calling the anomaly because of its hexagonal shape. It's starting to catch on. You really want to go back in there?
She could have taken out Thanos on her own if he hadn't initiated a blitz. I mean, nobody else came close.
Well, I'd argue that Captain Marvel came close.
Her powers came from an Infinity Stone too, right?
We are not talking about her. We are talking about Wanda. Can I borrow this?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Whoa!
Huh.
You had a bulletproof vest on when you went inside, didn't you?
Those pants are 87% Kevlar. It's not an illusion. Wanda is rewriting reality.
Permanently?
If she can change things as they go into the hex,
You called it the hex.
what happens if we send something in that requires no change?
Dr. Darcy Lewis findings regarding Maximus
Oh.
levels of radiation present at perimeter.
Please help me. What day is it? How long has it been? Where's my phone? I have to call my sister.
Norm.
She's taking care of our dad. He's sick. Where's my phone?
Calm yourself, Norm. I can't understand what you're trying to tell me.
You have to stop her.
Stop who?
She's in my head. None of it is my own. It hurts. It hurts so much. Just make her stop. Just make her stop!
Wow.
Now tell me this. If I send an email, where would I put the stamp?
Do you have a brother, Mom?
Yep.
I do. He's far away from here, and that makes me sad.
I know this is tech from the 80s, but can we sharpen the visuals? No joy. Take the shot.
What? No, the drone isn't armed.
It is.
Shot.
What did you do?
Do.
Oh, no. Oh boy.
Y'all might want to back up.
Yeah.
This will be your only warning. Stay out of my home. You don't bother me, I won't bother you.
I want to help you.
How? What could you possibly have to offer me?
What do you want?
I have what I want. And no one will ever take it from me again.
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
Woo.
I think she made her point.
Lagos. For when you make a mess, you didn't mean to.
Huh.
Sparky! Come on, boy! I didn't find him until it was too late. Oh. Tommy, Billy, I'm so sorry.
We can't reverse death, no matter how sad it makes us. Okay, some things are forever.
I spoke with Norm. Free of your oversight. You can't control me the way you do them.
Can't I?
Oh.
I'm going to bed.
No, we're not done here. Norm has a family, Wanda. He has a family, and he can't reach them because you won't let him reach
I
them.
don't know what you're talking about.
Stop lying to me!
This, all of this, is for us.
Can't remember my life before Westview. I don't know who I am. I'm scared.
You are my husband. You're Tommy and Billy's father. Isn't that enough? You really think that I am controlling everything? That I am somehow in charge of everybody in Westview? Walking their dogs, mowing their lawns, getting them to dentist appointments on time.
Maybe.
I don't know how any of this started in the first place. I didn't do that.
You don't believe me.
Wanda, I want to, but at this point, I'm ignoring statistics entirely. Wanda, who is this?
Oh. Uh-huh.
It's Uncle Jesse. Oh, wait.
She recast Pietro?
Okay, as always, I will scan ahead just to make sure, only because the director has mentioned that there may be an extra scene at some point. He did not say this episode, but just to be safe, I'll scroll ahead. And no. Okay.
Okay. The word for tea in French is the THE.
Okay.
Okay.
First I've heard.
Okay. Well, do you speak French?
No.
Okay, I read menus sometimes.
Okay, but I saw Farina and the big one at the end.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just thought, since it said I thought maybe I was wrong, because Farina.
Maybe it was Marina.
No, Farina is like, cream of wheat or whatever. So I was like, well, maybe it's.
I know.
Maybe I misread that, and maybe it's a sentence. The cafe something something. I don't know.
Yeah. Why would that be in French though? I don't know. Okay. You usually turn it over to me. I'm sorry. I had to explode that out.
It's fine. I didn't say I didn't believe you. It's weird.
But also, so our inclination that at least the director guy knew more than he was letting on, it was true.
Yes.
So
I don't think that necessarily makes him evil. I mean, given what he's working with, you got to do what you got to do to save 1,000, 3,000 people, whatever.
Yeah.
I can't say that I blame him now, because we love Wanda and Vision. We're like, don't take the shot. What are you talking about taking the shot? We don't like that. But that in real world, logic and reason, that does not make him a bad guy.
He's using the logic and reason without any.
There are a lot of lives weighed against just Wanda. So I get it. But yeah, that was interesting.
She just came out holding it.
Yeah, that was unexpected.
Yeah.
And pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So we got to see Evan Peters here as Pietro.
Recasted.
Yes.
Hilariously so for all of us watching MCU things.
Sure. I really hope that that's all it is, and that they're not making some connection to the multiverse. I'm fine if they give me that in Spider-Man. I don't even know if that's going to happen in Spider-Man. I'm fine if they give me that, but I don't want Fox X-Men stuff in my MCU. Keep all that stuff outside. Recast everything. Give us X-Men that are MCU flavored, but don't bring that Fox nonsense over into the MCU.
Yeah, that's just entirely too much gobbledygook and timeline rearrangements and that sort of thing. Let that live in its own universe. We enjoyed it for what it was, but yeah, I agree completely.
We enjoyed some of it for what it was.
Well, I didn't say we enjoyed it greatly. I just said we enjoyed it for what it was.
But as far as Quicksilvers go, he's my least favorite Quicksilver.
Of the two.
But that's okay. He got the flashy stuff as the sort of decorative Quicksilver over in the Fox stuff. Yeah. But I preferred the character that we got from this, from the
I can live with this being the one crossover.
I don't need it to be a crossover. It's just she's pulled some random face and put it, whatever.
So made a new Pietro. It just happens to be the one.
Who's going to quickly disappear as soon as this is over.
We'll see how that goes.
Anyway, yeah. Billy and Tommy. Yeah, I started to say Speed, but that's a superhero name. Billy and Tommy, I'm not sure how I feel about the aging up, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to still exist by the end of this series or not, but I do know that there have been lots of rumors of the Young Avengers stuff being prepped. There are two of those characters, so
we have.
I can see us landing with some 20-something characters.
So from the promos, we know that there's at least one more episode with them as children, at least for part of the episode where they were out. It seems like it's Halloween, so they're trick or treating. So
which could be next episode,
right?
If we're jumping to the 90s, I don't know what we're going to focus on as far as TV show. But I know by the time we get to the 2000s or whatever, we're looking at like Modern Family. So
I mean, we may scoot through the 90s and O's pretty quickly in the next episode for all we know. But we do know this happened quite a bit on sitcoms, especially a lot on
Aging Up.
Yeah, the soap operas.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, so like we'd have a baby one season and then we'd have a kid the next.
Oh, well, it happened on sitcoms and stuff all the time too.
So that's what I'm saying. Sitcoms and soap operas.
Family Ties, they had a baby, and then all of a sudden they had a 4-year-old.
Yeah, I think that
same
happened
thing
in Growing
with
Pains.
Growing Pains. Yeah, all those shows they age kids up because it's hard to deal with a baby on set.
Kid and baby actors.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you can get twins that you swap out for each other or whatever, like they did on Full House.
But we did watch them grow up.
Yeah, so I'm very curious where this is going, and I feel like Wanda was being genuine when she said she didn't start all this and she doesn't remember how it started.
Yeah.
I think some of it is being done to her.
Yes.
And it may be to make her seem a villain. It may be to put her, to cast her in a villain.
Well, I feel like her powers are being exploited, but she is so happy with what she's got going on in her own little bubble, her own little household, that she doesn't want it to end now. Like she is
Right.
using all her powers to make people go to the dentist on time.
And that seems like a devilish deal to me.
It does. But yeah. And then what he said, it was that it went against Vision's living will to be brought back. So how did she suddenly get so angry? Where did she get the information of where he was? How did she put him back together? How did she bring him back to life? There are a lot of questions. These things.
And is he back to life, or is she just kind of puppeting him throughout this thing with a facade?
You would think that if she was puppeting him, he would be the easiest to control.
Right.
So
and he doesn't seem to be.
No, I feel like much of his consciousness was there and in existence is still there for him. So if he was reconstituted and, is Vision minus the Mind Stone, I think all of his, his processes, his logic, all of that still exists. And I think she would want to keep him.
But we've seen trailer bits with her looking at the Mind Stone. So is he without the Mind Stone? Or is this taking place because of their connection to the Mind Stone?
Maybe.
Is it... is the Mind Stone the power that whoever is pulling the strings? Is that what they're really after? There are a lot of questions.
Oh yeah.
And it seems like and with these kinds of shows, I like that the more things you get answered, the more questions there still are as they continue building toward the end.
Yeah.
So how many episodes in? 5?
We are 5 episodes in. This is 9 episodes.
So we got 4 more.
Yeah. Now, I don't know. I feel like I saw it like as a flash through on like YouTube recommended videos that was there like some sort of theory that there's a hidden 10th episode happening?
I think it's been talked about, but I don't know that there's any confirmation of that whatsoever.
Okay. I mean, we'll be on the lookout, but
And honestly, if there is a quote unquote secret 10th episode, it could just be that they extended the 9th episode to be longer and that it was on the schedule as an extra episode because they needed.
But it could be just like an extra. It could just be an extra long episode for all we know.
We don't know.
We don't know. It's just a theory. We just live here.
I thought it was interesting that Monica did not want to talk about Captain Marvel, as if there were some hard feelings there for some reason. Wondering if we'll get some of that more in this series, or if that kind of thing will be answered in the next Captain Marvel movie, because although we know that Carol has been present in the present for the events of Endgame, we also don't know whether Captain Marvel 2 will take place after those events or whether they'll take place like in the later 90s or something, and we'll see her returning to Earth at some point between those periods. We just don't know.
My guess is probably it's a little girl's anger towards who was like a mentor or a hero to her for not being there for her mom dying and all of that, for all she knows. That's my thought. She could be mad at her for not coming back.
Maybe. And I do, I think it's easy to cast that director in a bad light given his approach to, Wanda and everything. But when you're talking about, you've got Darcy and Jimmy Woo who have had good interactions with superheroes. Mm-hmm. That would not be the case for everybody in the world.
No.
And government agencies especially would be suspicious of powered people, because part of their job would be how to defend against such things.
Yeah, like
should
they're
the
having
need
to do,
arise.
like they're having to do right now.
So yeah, he seemed a little bit nasty in his approach to that, but it's also, I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt until he does something truly sinister.
Yeah.
And I think Wanda made her point quite well with all the weapons aimed in his direction.
Yeah.
Back off. I think we have seen in some of the teaser trailers that there's some sort of vehicle that they're going to try to use to pierce the.
I think Darcy and Monica were theorizing on how to make that happen. In this episode.
But it's interesting that she realized that Wanda is not creating things from whole cloth. She's altering things that already exist, which makes me question the children.
Yeah.
And it makes me question, what exactly is happening. Obviously, she's using the Vision's body, but like we both acknowledged, his mind seems to be his own, or he wouldn't be questioning her. Or is him questioning her just her own subconscious questioning herself and her motives?
Maybe.
And whatever. So still some things to be answered there. I thought the commercial was very interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what Lagos is.
Lagos is where she threw crossbones up into the air and inadvertently killed a bunch of people.
Oh, neat.
So when you make a mess.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. I knew it obviously had to be a reference, but.
Ties to the MCU, ties to a blunder on her part that needed to be cleaned up. So, that was interesting. I'm loving the way this show is done, and I like that this episode gave us both. It gave us outside Westview and inside Westview, and I'm gonna guess that they're gonna continue to do that.
I hope so. It would be very odd for them to do it any other way now.
Right. And I wonder if if we're not going to end our thing with sitcoms in the next 2 episodes, and then have the last 2 episodes be full on dealing with the ramifications of all of this, or whatever confrontation comes from all of this.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting. Now, of course, like I said, we watch other reactors, and we watch the Easter egg folks. So on the person board we had for Norm about Vision awakening him before we saw it in this episode. So I'm wondering how they're, like, where they are. They seem to be seeing things as they're happening, but also they might be watching other episodes. So maybe this was some part of a different episode, maybe, or like how, like, if she,
or maybe some of last episode that we were seeing outside crossed into this episode, so that information was taken down from this episode.
Maybe, but the thing is, like, we've seen that Wanda has been censoring, or somebody's been censoring stuff that's like not in universe for the Hex. How did they get to see that? So that is my question.
I love Darcy trying to brand this stuff too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've got all the hexagons. May as well call it the Hex, and Hex magic and all that. So, sure.
Anyway, I'm really excited to see what they do next.
Same.
As many questions as I have, I'm hesitant to formulate any actual theory about what I expect to happen over the next 4 episodes, because honestly, I don't know. It's been such an interesting ride so far. All the Sword stuff. I mean, I knew Sword was going to be involved in this, but seeing all of these people working together, like I'm digging Jimmy Woo and Darcy, and when they first mentioned that they were both going to be in this, I'm like, I can't see that.
But now,
I can't see that happening. And now I'm just like, well, they have a fun pal chemistry together.
Yeah.
He trusts her and her brain and her science stuff, and he's a good guy for, testing things out and trying things and backing people up and whatever. And they both seem to trust Monica, or, Jimmy does more than Darcy, because Darcy just kind of met her here.
Yeah,
but
big fan though.
But still, yeah. But I mean, I like those connections, and I like, seeing them work together to try to sort this thing out. And I like that Monica was gutsy enough to step out there and talk to Wanda, because she honestly doesn't believe that Wanda wants this thing to go badly.
Yeah. I mean, she very like right out there. You clearly trusted me to deliver your children. So
now, obviously, when it comes to something like this, you have to ask yourself about the Avengers, right? So we know that Captain America is not available. We know that, sadly, Tony Stark is not available. We know that, there are some people off the board. Natasha is not available. I wonder, though, if we couldn't see Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye in this at some point in the next 4 episodes, because he really is connected to Wanda, especially since the events of Age of Ultron.
He dubbed her an Avenger.
Yeah, and that closeness came back into play in Civil War. So I would think that with all this going on, somebody would go, okay, where's an Avenger? How can we get somebody over here to try to talk some sense into her?
Who were her friends? Who is she?
And that makes sense, especially since he's going to get a series of his own later.
Maybe
so I would like to see that, but maybe not. I don't know if that'll happen. At the same time, though, it's going to be kind of weird for me if they don't involve anyone. That knows her.
Yeah, I feel like they need to have at least one person who knows her, who's not a recasted brother.
Yeah, because it's one thing for Monica to try to talk her down as someone who feels like she became a friend inside Westview, and that there's some sort of understated trust between us that you need to lean into. That's one thing, but there are people that know this woman. There are people that have worked alongside her that she might be willing to listen to if they put them there. So I'd like to see something like that, or at least an explanation as to why they're not.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, let's just talk about Agnes and her wanting to take her lines from the top. That was interesting, too.
That was.
So that's one more person.
And it also suggests that Wanda's not
completely
necessarily in charge of her.
Yeah.
Because while she did look to Wanda for an answer to that question, Wanda didn't set her free and let her break character. That was something that just happened.
Yeah, but she listened to Vision also, because he didn't want her to touch the twins. Of course, comic book history, she had something to do with them too. But
if she's Agatha Harkness,
she's Agatha Harkness, but
so you still don't have any confirmation.
You don't, but yeah,
was she wearing the brooch in this episode? At all? I'd have to go back and watch it again because I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, I'd have to go take a look as well. But I can't imagine that she wouldn't have been. Yeah. But yeah, so that was really weird that she was acknowledging that she had lines or actions that needed to be taken.
All of her stuff this episode was particularly weird. Not just that, but also the looking for liquor. and then the nonplussed reaction to the children aging up, and then there's my question: is Wanda in charge of them? She seems to insinuate that they age themselves up.
Yeah,
which means that Wanda's not in charge of them.
Yeah, so there's a lot out of her control already.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting. And then how did that email come across to them? Was that something that was sent from the outside to get their attention, or was it something that Vision just managed to intercept somehow? I don't know. All that's hinky to me, and I'm not sure how that works. Hinky. Yeah.
Hinky.
Yeah. Anyway, those are our thoughts on WandaVision episode 5 on this very special episode, or for this very special episode, or
something of that sort.
There's a, whatever.
Yeah.
One of those things. You can jump into the comments and let us know what you think down below in the comments.
Let us both know.
Whew. Tongue-tied today. You can do that, and like this video if you enjoy this sort of content. Don't want to miss the next video while we continue down this crazy ride with VandaWision. Right?
Right.
Until next time, folks.
Bye.